both sides later. The idea is to share, to connect, to learn, and engage with both the speakers and the audience here today during and after the event. So please feel free to ask questions in the chat if you'd like to be connected with our member companies here today, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to get in touch directly or speak to our team at Africa Scotland Business Network. So if you haven't been on our spaces before, my name's Claire. I'm one of the directors at Africa Scotland Business Network. And much like our member companies presenting with us today, who believed that they could change the world through a simple idea via technology, we were also a small group of entrepreneurs that we too could create meaningful impact and do our bit to change the world in the way we knew how. And that was to build a much needed, much more proactive, contemporary, future-thinking international business network built from the African continent. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with 12 member companies in 12 countries, representing 26 different sectors, from innovators right the way through to multinational corporations. So we've got a fantastic lineup of presentations here today, ladies and gentlemen. The event is brimming with world-class speakers and technologies. But before we dive into this demo day, our inaugural Tech International Demo Day, I just want to say a massive thank you to Sebekedi from Westboro, Sebekedi Kaloi, who's going to be your facilitator today. You're one of the most all-rounded, talented, inspiring, and I must say you're so helpful, Sebekedi. So thank you so much for being part of our family at Africa Scotland Business Network. Thank you for facilitating this session for us. The floor is yours.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Claire. I really love working with yourself and the team. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be here. With myself, I've worked within the entrepreneurship space for some time now. Currently, I'm the investment portfolio manager for Westgrow, looking at supporting inward investments from the tech sector, but also ensuring that the local tech ecosystem is supported. Just to step back a bit, Westgrow is the official investment promotion agency for the city of Cape Town and the Western Cape province. And as mentioned, we support businesses that are looking to invest in the place, but we're also very much interested in supporting outward expansion of businesses through our exports unit. And above and beyond that, as the festive season comes and dawns on us, we've got an amazing tourism team that has been working quite hard to ensure that the Western Cape, as well as Cape Town, is seen as a tourist destination, and we can house and support tourism. On the other side, my night job, I'm also on the board of Silicon Cape, supporting the broader South African ecosystem as an ecosystem catalyst to ensure that tech businesses are fully supported. There is opportunities, and there are opportunities to network and engage locally, as well as with both entrepreneurs, VCs, co-working spaces, and a few others. But with that said, as Claire mentioned, I'll be facilitating today's session, and it's really, really exciting to see all these startups and businesses that are doing amazing work with great innovations, sharing their pitch, but more importantly, the opportunity to network, collaborate, and really understand what is happening in the local ecosystem. As Claire mentioned, the rules of the house, each panelist will have, or speaker will have 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, we'll move on to the next speaker with a short break in between. So first up, we've got speaker one, which is Dr. Faisal Ghani, the CEO of Solaris Kit, which is a Dundee-based Scottish business and is the first packable solar water thermal heating system. They won the COP26 Green Tech Pitch competition on the global stage in November at Glasgow, securing over £100,000 in funding. Faisal also scooped up Innovator of the Year in Scotland 2021 and has recently sent the first shipment of heaters into Rwanda, and we cannot wait to see more from them in entering the African markets. I'll hand over to Dr. Faisal.
Great. Thanks very much, Sebedeki, for that very kind introduction. And thanks, Claire and ASBN for this opportunity. So I'm Faisal. I'm the CEO and founder of Solaris Kit. As Sebedeki mentioned, we're a clean tech company based in sunny Dundee, Scotland. I say that with a smile because it's completely overcast today. But I'm delighted to be here because I founded the company really for Africa. So Solaris Kit is a clean tech company that's quite different to a lot of other companies that you've probably come across. And that's chiefly because we are focused on low carbon heating. And the reason why we focus on this problem is because of this slide that you can see here. Heating water for your shower or for producing hot water for cleaning clothes or your house. It's very energy intensive, it's expensive, but it also produces quite a lot of carbon as well. So globally speaking, around half of the world's energy is consumed to meet heating demand, and the vast majority of that is still coming from fossil fuels. So I'm a mechanical engineer. I've been working in the solar energy field for over 15 years, and this situation really shouldn't exist. That's chiefly because Africa, as one of the prime examples, lives in parts of the world which is very, very sunny, and that energy can be harnessed to meet its heating needs. One of the drawbacks, though, at the moment is that around 1% of global heating demand is met using solar energy. And the chief reason for that is, for this slide here that you can see, is that current solutions available, like the evacuated tube collector, have been primarily developed for industrialized economies. So they work really well, but they're expensive, they're difficult to transport, they require a high level of skill to install. They're quite prone to reaching dangerous temperatures, especially if we were to plonk these collectors in a very sunny, warm climate like Africa. They're not ideally suited for flat roof or ground installations. As you can see in this slide, they have to be pitched at the right angle. And also, they're generally regarded as quite unattractive. And what we want to do at Solaris is really try and address these barriers by developing a very practical and affordable solution to meet heating demand in a sunny, warm climate like Africa. Next slide, please, Claire. And the solution to that is this solar collector that you can see here. It's basically a prismatic shaped device which scavenges sunlight from a variety of different angles. And the idea is that it will convert sunlight directly into heat. So basically, cold water comes in at the bottom. That kind of blackened coil that you see hidden behind the glass absorbs that radiation, becomes really hot. And so that water, as it exits the collector at the top, is basically heated by the sun. So that means we don't have to use gas, electricity, or biomass to heat the water. We can just use it cleanly and efficiently using sunlight. But what's particularly unique about our solar collector, next slide please, Claire, is that we actually manufacture the device as a flat packable, self-assembled kit. So we like to say it's the IKEA solution to solar hot water. We manufacture these collectors in Dundee as this product that you see in front of you. The reason why we've decided to manufacture the collector as a flat packable kit, next please, Claire, is because of these key benefits. Firstly, we can really reduce the cost to manufacture the product because we're only partially manufacturing the product. Because it's flat packable and self-assembled, it's much smaller and lighter in weight. So that means it's much easier to transport. I actually delivered a number of our solar collectors to local customers in Dundee just on the back of my bicycle. So it's very friendly to low carbon transportation methods like that, but also on the back of a motorcycle or a very standard van, for example. It's also been designed to be very simple to install. So the way we've done that is that we've engineered the product so it's completely compatible with plastic piping. So it takes out a lot of complexity to install the system. But the key thing as well is that our solar collector is very easy to manufacture. And we know this because we've established a manufacturing line in Dundee with a very modest investment, which can produce around 20,000 collectors per annum. And the idea behind this is that we want to replicate this line in Africa, where we can build capacity, create new jobs, but also at the same time, of course, increase access to clean energy. Next slide, please, Claire. So our solution is designed to be very scalable and modular. So basically, our collectors can be installed for an array based on any size of application. But the key ones that we're trying to focus on is the supply of hot water for households, commercial sites consuming hot water like holiday parks, hotels, schools and universities requiring hot water for hygiene purposes. Swimming pool heating is also a big one, particularly in South Africa, that we're quite keen to enter. But also quite recently as well is that we've been contacted by a fish farming cooperative in Uganda who currently use firewood to heat water for their hatcheries. And they've shown quite a lot of interest in using our solution to heat water for aquacultural engineering purposes. And so that's something that we're really keen to look into. So we're a very early stage company, as Claire mentioned. We've won a few awards quite recently, but we are looking to complete our first pilot trial in Rwanda, hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks. We've obviously had some delays with the pandemic, but we're really keen to meet with anyone listening who's quite interested in becoming a potential distribution partner or looking to trial our solution. But yeah, that's us. Hopefully I was within time. Thanks very much.
Fantastic stuff, Dr. Faisal. That is amazing. And I don't think we've ever seen something like this in South Africa. So I'll be more than interested to chatting more. I do see there are questions in the chat, but we will take questions at the end. Thank you so much, David King, for that. And next up, we've got Dr. Jenna Ross. Dr. Jenna Ross is the founder and CEO of CHAPS. CHAPS stands for Crop Health and Protection Agri-Tech Innovation Centres, which is based in the UK. Dr. Ross is an exceptional agricultural scientist from Aberdeen, Scotland, and a daughter of a farmer. She's lived in Africa for 6 years and started lecturing at Stellenbosch University, working in Tanzania and Angola, and then spending some time as well in NAFLD as a NAFLD scholar in Kenya. She's the International Business Development Manager for the UK Innovation-funded CHAPS centres across the UK, and is always looking for international partnerships in agri as well as agri-tech from the rest of Africa. Dr. Jenna, over to yourself.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for that intro. And thank you to Claire and to the rest of the ASBN team for inviting me to speak today. So good afternoon from Aberdeenshire in Scotland. As I mentioned, my name is Jenna Ross, and I'm the International Business Development Manager for the UK Government-funded Agri-Tech Centre, Crop Health and Protection, or CHAP as we're more commonly known. And I'm also a very proud founding member of the ASBN. And today I'm going to be showcasing CHAP's world-leading UK agri-tech capabilities and how they can be used to catalyse UK SSA collaborations. Next slide, please. So what is CHAP? Well, we develop national and international networks and perform collaborative R&D to help drive innovative solutions in the area of crop health and protection. And we do that by working with a range of partners, including our 4 non-delivery partners listed on the screen, as well as our 12 delivery partners, which include 10 centres of academic excellence across the UK. Our capabilities cover 5 main themes, including crop and protein diversification, advancing intelligent agronomy, controlled environment agriculture, soil and crop health systems, and innovative crop health strategies. Next slide, please. So we're made up of world-leading capabilities, including the likes of our Biopesticide Development Lab, which is in partnership with CABI, where we conduct efficacy testing, mass production, formulation, and application studies, looking at new biological control agents for the agricultural industry. We also have our National Reference Collection, which has been set up in partnership with CABI and with FERA, the Food Environmental Research Agency here in the UK, where we've developed a unique catalogue of UK and international crop-related microorganisms within a searchable database that can be used to develop either biological controls or it could be pathogens for pathogenicity studies. Next, we have our Digital Phenotyping Lab in partnership with Rothamsted Research, where we can automate for repetitive phenotyping tasks and identify unique spectral signatures using multispectral imaging for the likes of pests, diseases, and weeds. We also have our Molecular Diagnostic Lab, where we work with NIAB over in Cambridge, where we have a wide range of molecular tools and capabilities, including amplicon sequencing. With FERA, we also partner on Crop Monitor Pro, This is a sophisticated forecasting and decision support tool that assesses the risks posed by pest diseases and looks at the need to spray or not to spray by the farmer. So far, this has been developed in the UK for winter wheat, oilseed rape, and potato, but we're also looking at different crop types as well as different geographies. Also with Fera, we have the eFlow mesocosm capability, which is one of the largest in Europe, if not the world, where we can look at the effects of agricultural contaminants and high-tier risk assessments under controlled conditions. And finally on the slide, we have our field-scale precision equipment in collaboration with Stockbridge Technology Centre near York. And this includes our pieces of equipment like our strip till, where we can test and trial the benefits of things like flowering strips, companion crops, and cover crops. Next slide, please. At STC, we also have our advanced glasshouse, and this has been set up with biological pipeline in mind. So it's allowing us to trial the biologicals that we develop through our links with CABI and Fera with an appropriate test setting. So it really allows us to test and trial those. In addition, we have our vertical farming development centre, STC. Next, at the Soil Health Facility at Cranfield University, we work alongside AgriEpi, our sister centre, to assess and phenotype the entire growth phase within a pilot-sized facility. At our crop storage facility, we work with AHDB, which is a levy board here in the UK, and this provides research, expertise and training for the crop storage industry. Then we have our ICEA, which is housed in Dundee. Here we collaborate with the James Hutton Institute and Liberty Produce to demonstrate and test next generation technologies, both for indoor and protected crops. And finally, we have the Natural Light Growing Centre. And this is where we collaborate with the University of Warwick and an organisation called RIPE. And here we're looking at replacing traditional glass in glasshouses with a material called ETFE, which allows greater UV penetration. And this allows a fantastic test site for new and emerging technologies. Next slide, please. So through our state-of-the-art facilities and world-renowned expertise through our partnership, we try and catalyse innovative projects. And we do this through various different mechanisms, either by building consortia to develop grant funding proposals, either as lead or as a collaborator in a project, or we can also support through our strong project management capabilities, both on our national and international projects. We also work with and develop commercial contract research. This is projects alongside clients. In addition, we run a new innovations program, which is targeted towards market failure within the crop health space and how we can help intervene. We also have an excellent marketing and events team. And then finally, we have the CHAP membership. Next slide, please. So within our membership, we have an array of SMEs, large companies, academic institutes, both national and international, including ASBN, and we very much use our membership platform as an ecosystem to encourage innovation. Next slide, please. Our members are distributed around the world, and we are passionate about expanding our global reach. So if you're interested in joining our international membership, if you work within the agri-tech or agricultural sectors, then please do get in contact. We're particularly keen to expand our reach within Africa. Next slide, please. So I will stop there, and hopefully my contact details are on the slide, but if you've got any questions, I'll happily take them at the end. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Jana. That was really, really fantastic. Looking at the time, I'm going to move very quickly and introduce the next speaker, which is David Syme from Ride Digital. David Syme is a global leader, a writer, and a speaker in all things virtual reality and artificial reality immersive solutions for the health, education, and energy sectors. He's also the CTO of Ride Digital, which is based in Glasgow, and its world-class digital team is currently expanding internationally. Ride are looking to engage with local partners and clients in Africa. David, over to you.
Thank you for your introduction. And yes, as you said, my background is in virtual and augmented reality for about 20 years. I've also got a keen interest in education. I'm a qualified lecturer, and a very keen interest in using what I know about education and emerging technologies to help to facilitate renewable energy. As Faisal mentioned earlier on, Africa is really rich in renewable energy sources, but transitioning an entire country, all the entire countries in Africa, to use these renewable energy sources requires a lot of people, and it requires a lot of new skills. So what we've been doing over the last couple of years is bringing together the technologies that we work with, the knowledge that we have of education and the knowledge that we have about the renewable and conventional energy industries, to create accessible, useful education to rapidly upskill and rapidly transition the skill sets of people in South Africa and African nations across the continent. So Claire, if you could share the video, it will probably describe this better.
Riot Digital create virtual reality training solutions for clients right across the energy sector. We work closely with our partners, including Denso and Lenovo, to help our clients to meet their local content obligations for the countries they work in. Renewable energy is a particularly demanding industry for training, with complex training requirements around a number of areas. Virtual reality allows safe and practical training on requirements such as working at heights or in confined areas, as well as intricate and potentially dangerous mechanical and electrical engineering tasks. Storing generated energy as hydrogen is particularly hazardous and requires a detailed knowledge of the controls, systems, and materials involved. All of this can be taught safely in virtual reality, like filling and manual valve operations, as shown here. All training operations are continuously monitored and shared, meaning that trainees, instructors, and assessors located anywhere in the world can join each other live in these virtual training environments. Sound and vision are just part of the picture. True training requires familiarity with actual controls, interfaces, and environments, for which we have a range of different physical simulators, VR, and screen-based environments. Heavy machinery requires sensitive control to navigate around obstacles, which our simulators train into the operator. Force feedback allows these operators to feel the movement and reactions of the machinery that they control. So we've made sure that our simulators do the same. This ensures that operators are familiar with the feeling of their system, as well as the sight, sound, and sequence of tasks that they'll be undertaking in the real world. Riot Digital are based in Scotland and work all over the globe. Contact us at solutions@riot.digital to learn more.
And that's it in a nutshell. So basically, we try to use not just audiovisual training and immersive training using augmented and virtual reality for off-site and on-site respectively, but also tactile physical training, because the majority of the tasks that we're talking about here require your body as well as your mind. And so the best way to learn is to really develop muscle memory as well as developing kind of contextual awareness. And we hope by doing that we can speed up the transition of skills necessary to bring in renewable energy across Africa, but also increase safety and increase efficiency. So that's everything from me, and any questions, I'll take them in the Q&A section.
Thank you so much, David. That was really fantastic. I'm really excited to see the progression and growth into African markets. The next speaker, we've got Vuyo Hadabeni from Year 2 Africa. Vuyo is a private equity specialist who turned into an entrepreneur and founded Year 2, an e-commerce technology providing access to goods and services to Africa's underserviced communities. This by mobilizing the logistics, know-how, and capacity of the taxi industry. Vuyo is on a mission to build African products for Africans enabled by technology. Year 2 is now successfully piloting in Soweto and is set to become one of the most innovative and rapidly adopted technologies for the African people. Vuyo, over to yourself.
Thanks, Sebekedi. Thanks, Claire. As the introduction goes, I'm Vuyo Hadabeni, strategy lead for Year 2. In essence, Year 2 really for us is a continuation of our view on intervention and investment and looking at how we can really add value to our society and some of the ills that plague our societies. Claire, if you don't mind, would you play the introduction video to Year 2? That'll basically set the scene for my chat.
Short left, short right, after robot, bus stop, Ekoni, Kokoni. Taxi is an integral part of our lives, with over 250,000 of them transporting 70% of the population while making about 15 million trips every day. Millions of us live in areas other types of public transport and delivery services do not touch, so we depend on this vital service. This makes our taxi industry and taxi drivers the lifeblood of our communities and the economy. They keep everything going. With Yetu, the power of the taxi industry is unlocked even more to further improve lives. Now taxis don't just take us to and from our destinations, they also bring the shops to our doors, saving us time and effort, improving the quality of our lives. Thank you, driver. Thank you, Tricin. Thank you for groceries. Thank you for the hardware. Thank you for the takeaways. Thank you for the drinks. Thank you, driver. The taxi industry and drivers also benefit from Yetu, as the delivery service provides much needed additional income. Yetu works for us because it is built by us, for us. It is ours.
Thanks very much. So that's really it. For us, the taxi industry in developing countries, and South Africa is very much one. It moves 70% of the population to work, from work, to stores. That's 250,000 cars, 15 million trips a day, moving some 50 million people to work. And so we've built a technology really that looks to overlay that industry and take it from an informal sector operator and bring them into the formal sector. The opportunity is very real in South Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, in other developing parts of the world, where commuter bus taxis are the main way people are transported to and from work. In that there's an interesting nexus. So you have people in cabin being moved to and from work, to shopping environments. To remain competitive, this industry keeps prices very low. So in essence, they have about a 6-hour gap daily that we can then use and create efficiencies for them and added income. And so we basically bring this industry from a transportation industry into the logistics industry. We then utilize the in-cabin time to also activate for our clients. So we now have people like Unilever, we've got Smollen, these multinational businesses across multiple geographies globally, with hundreds and thousands and millions of consumers. And we basically are using the very transportation that are carrying these consumers to then generate interest, but also to do last mile fulfillment. So ours is that we have a ubiquitous fleet. We don't have to buy more cars, and we can get to underserviced people in townships and homelands throughout Africa. Now, typically when the developed world builds technology, we can very easily leave out people who are vulnerable, and people in townships and our communities have been left out, especially when we look at the convenience factor. People are still queuing unnecessarily, whether it's for pharmaceutical products, whether it's to go into malls, to do shopping. The level of quality of life and convenience hasn't been really thought through. And primarily from a Yetu point of view, because we believe that the infrastructure that supports logistics and e-commerce has been underinvested in, especially when it comes to these communities. And as Yetu, this is actually our focus. So by supporting and building out this infrastructure, especially for last mile, we're able to then meaningfully add value and bring e-commerce into our townships and our homes, as well as for our clients, which are B2B, give them reach into townships and the like. And from a brand and point of view, it allows them to fulfill their sort of direct-to-consumer strategies. And that's really what we're doing.
Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. And I think you are servicing an amazing market, and really looking forward to your scale. Next up, we have Gary Goldie from Triggerfish Software. Triggerfish Software is the National South African Small Business Award winners for 2020, and they are a leading custom software and development firm that is based in Port Elizabeth. Triggerfish are looking for partners and projects in Scotland, England, Australia, as well as the USA. I'll hand over to Gary to share more.
Hi, thanks so much for the intro, and really thanks to Claire and Africa Scotland Business Network for allowing me to take some time here. So we are a software development company. We build bespoke software applications, which includes web and mobile apps. I think if Claire, if you can just start the video, it'll give us a quick overview. Thanks, Claire. So, as I said, we are a software development company. We are based in South Africa. Our strategy is to do all of our development using South African and African development resources, but to predominantly look for projects offshore, so outside of South Africa. The reason for that is really twofold. The first one is that at the moment, the rand is quite weak against the pound and the dollar and the euro. So we can offer some substantial savings to international clients based on the rand, compared to what they can get resources in their own territories. We are not as expensive, for example, as going to Eastern Europe. We are probably on a par with India and the Philippines. But we have the added advantage that we are in the same time zone, or relatively same time zone to the UK market, and we speak the same language. So there's really no language differences. The other hidden benefit that we're looking to achieve in South Africa at the moment, and within Africa, there are lots of young, really talented, dynamic software developers and IT people that are unemployed. And that's happened a lot because of the where South Africa is at the moment, but also the pandemic has not helped the situation. Now, we believe that if we can get our footprint going internationally, we're going to be in a position where we're going to be able to offer a lot of these youngsters some work, some international exposure, and help them get their mojo back. So that's kind of I would say the hidden benefit that we're looking to do by doing offshore projects. The next slide, please, Claire. So some of our accomplishments to date. The company was started in May last year in the middle of the pandemic. We got our first local clients in June. We got our first international clients in the UK and in the US in July last year. Based on the need and the work that started coming in, we started putting together our own local team and started building. In November last year, we were awarded the National Startup Champion Award here in South Africa. And May this year, we were awarded the Best Emerging Software Development Company for South Africa. Next slide, please, Claire. So where are we at the moment? So the blue represents our current clients. And the red are clients that we're busy looking at the moment. So obviously, we've got clients in South Africa, we've got clients in the UK, we've got clients in Ireland, we've got clients on the west coast of the US. We are currently growing our client base in South Africa, obviously, because that's where we are. But we are talking to some more clients in Ireland, UK. We're talking to a potential client in Cyprus, and we're talking to some more clients in the US. One of the things that we've also started doing, which I just want to mention, we've put together what we call our intern program. And a lot of it is in line with our helping the youngsters. Our program is going to be aimed at going to universities and computer schools, let's say, and we're going to be offering their graduates employment, that they can come and do some work for us. They'll come in as an intern. Year one, they'll be trained by a senior. The year two, the year one interns will help and mentor the year one interns, and that will roll through the process, and it'll help the youngsters get assimilated into this IT culture, get them to learn how IT is done, teach them the right way of doing things, and help them become really good developers or business analysts or project managers, whatever direction they want to go. Next slide, please, Claire. So we have a process that we follow when we go after business. So the first thing is we obviously look for leads. If we talk to someone and there's an interest, that lead becomes a prospect, and then we start talking to them. They then have a requirement. They want a project built, or they want us to look after their software development arena. We would then spend a lot of time with them, lots of meetings, lots of discussions, getting a really clear understanding of their requirements, what it is that they want, how they want it. And when we really understand that, we will then put together a proposal for them to tell them how long we think it's going to take and how much it's going to cost. The important thing, though, that we need to stress is that we do everything in an agile mindset, and we will guarantee that from the moment we start talking to them till when we start developing, things are going to change. It is a given in software development that things will change as development happens. We have a process to handle that. We talk to our clients, we get them to understand that, and we have a way of managing that change. The client accepts the proposal, we then start building it, and when we finished and the client is happy, they then sign it off and we move on to the next process. Next one, please, Claire. And what does that give us? Well, in our belief, that gives us a formidable combination of people, professionalism, focus approach, technologies, our experience of our people, and a track record, which then will actually give us an awesome future, a great future, and help you to become professionals. And the final slide. Thanks, Claire. And thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Gary. Really loved the presentation. Keeping up with time, we're going to move on to the next speaker. And as Claire mentioned in the comments, please prepare your questions. After this, we'll be taking questions. Speaker 6 is Steve Forsyth from Workstream. Workstream is a dynamic information management solution that allows businesses to harvest business-centric information from wherever their business takes them. Managed within a secure workflow process with simultaneous direct data entry and decision maker iteration to audit and certify and authorize in real time. Workstream are doing a live demo, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, handing over to you. Steve, you're on mute.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. That was a good start. Never mind. I'm not going to go through any explanations today. I've also been asked to catch up time. So we're going to go straight into the tightrope with no safety net, and I'll do a demonstration in front of you for all to see. What we do is we capture information wherever your workforce is, wherever time zone, etc. It's no problem to us. We go across the whole spectrum from the highly skilled technophobic workforce to the unskilled, highly technical workforce. We can capture information on with pen and paper with direct data input. We can attach that to a mobile and collect KYC information and other information that you may need, geostamp or timestamp. We can collect information on a phone only with mobile phones. We can add fingerprint to the KYC if you need. And then at the opposite end, we have our own tablet here, which we can take, use your national ID card to take information. We can take fingerprints. We can do facial recognition. It has a SIM card. It is wireless connected. It's also Bluetooth connected. And it's robust and waterproof, and it floats. If nothing else, my grandchildren have found out they can watch Peppa Pig in the bath. So it's quite a useful little tool. So what I want to do is, I'm presently based at home in rural Perthshire, in a small village, very limited broadband, and it only has 2G on a mobile network. Okay, so I'm going to go the worst scenario. You have to use paper and a pen, and you have to leave this piece of paper with the client at the site. So what I'll do quickly is I'll just bend down the screen so you can see me write, and I'll use the digital pen to fill the form in. The form uses all the standard format that you see on normal forms. So the clients are used to filling them in. It incorporates tick boxes. You can draw diagrams. Now, fill the form in. You now use an app on your mobile to connect the pen to the internet. Now it's asking me now, because the form's been designed to ask for KYC, it's asking me to add some KYC. So I can go to the phone and select the documents that I've previously taken, fingerprints, there's also the driving license and a utility bill, and there's a picture of the damage. And I attach the photographs to the form and send the form. That's now sending the information to our system. Once the system receives it, it will then convert it into whatever format you need to inform your workforce. It'll direct data entry, etc., etc., etc. So if I share my screen now, we'll take you to the platform and you can quickly see what I'm... That is an SMS that's just come into my phone telling me that we received a form from Workstream that needs to be reviewed and checked. So there's the first interaction with a human being. Faisal and Jenny have also put you, and Claire have put you on the system, so you should be getting them at the same time. You should also you'll get an email as well with a PDF of the form, etc., etc., etc. So here is the system, if you can see it. Somebody can give me the okay. And here, if you have nothing, we give you the whole tool. If you have nothing, you can start day one, designing forms, posting them on the system and using them. It also allows you to set up users, groups, devices, etc., etc. All the tools that you need to securely set the system up. You can design forms and post them. You can also view them. So if you have nothing at all, you can use this to manage the whole system. If you have a system already, you can connect it by HTTP, HTTPS, APIs, etc., and use your own system. And you can also use this system to improve what you've got already if you want to enhance forms, etc. So if we go to form view, in the case that you have nothing, you'll see there that we've received a form. Oops. Now you can see the form that I wrote. You've got the handwriting there, and you've got the converted form there. You can see here, you've got the attached documents, you've got the image, you've got the fingerprint, picture of the damaged tank, driving license, and a utility bill. So you've got your KYC. You look here and you'll get the, here is the XML where it's been converted into XML for direct data input. And you've got the PNGs here. That were sent by, they've been sent by email to that one, and you've also got the converted one. But what we can do now is we can check it, spelling, etc. Have we got the right numbers, etc. Everything there. As you can see here, there is spelling mistakes.
Steve,
yeah,
we're just looking at time. If we can move the presentation along.
Yeah, I can do. We can change the spelling here. I won't do it this time. But once that's done, I send it to the supervisor. And you'll see it's moved down. It's been reviewed. Open it up. Again, SMSs are coming in, emails are arriving. Here we've got it. The supervisor can review it, and he can update it as well. Work's approved. And it's now moved to its final stage of authorised, which means the workforce now have it, they can go out and do the work, etc. And you can see, they can also, if you can see here, you can see here, the workflow has all been done. He can check it, he's happy, and he gets a copy of the printed PDF and the images that he needs. Okay. I'll stop sharing now. Basically, that's it in a nutshell. I hope you got something from it. And I've finished on time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that presentation, Steve. It was great to see it in work. Next up, we'll